Hi, we are finishing up the analysis, or the really rough analysis, as it were, of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony and seeing how it impacts what's going on with sonata form. So, here's the brilliance right here. I said that in the recap, you then have the second theme and so on. There's also, you can add, this is optional, a coda. Sometimes it's short and it's just a new idea or maybe a slight variation on an earlier idea that kind of ends the piece. Other times, and Beethoven was one of the first people to really do this, you can have a coda and it is almost like a second development. So, in other words, the drama of the piece has not yet been resolved. We don't know where it's going to go. We're somehow now in C major, even though, as I pointed out earlier, we still have the... that part reminding us, hey, it's not all over. And so we got to figure out what to do. Well, Beethoven has this coda, and the coda basically functions as a second development. And we see this by the fact that we're taking things that have happened, mostly that rhythm that's been there the entire time, and we're doing more with it, and we're adding. Beethoven adds new themes here. But the drama is at its highest. You have awesome, really neat harmonies. You have things moving, lots of loud stuff. Anyways, so let me show you then what Beethoven does, as opposed to doing, which is what a really simple person might do, is as opposed to ending the piece with and doing that and being like, okay, yep, I recapped and now it's in C major and everybody's happy. Beethoven does not do that. Instead, he goes... because it's fun. But anyways, and then remember we had that, that's the transition theme. Anyways, so now we have this second development. It's really, really dramatic. And the great part again is it just comes so naturally right off of what you think might be the resolution of goes dark, and then you have just some great passages here that I really like. One of my favorite passages is which is really dramatic and shows this return of this kind of darkness that was there from the C minor thing. You have this great, it's a new theme, this so that's a new theme, and he adds that here with great stuff. So this is all part of the coda, and it it ends magnificently with then this as this music is then spun out into more dramatic fashion. It then ends with how actually the recap begins, right? Very, very similar. And then we have the return of the very first theme again. This is what shows you why the piece isn't over at the end of the second theme, and how versatile sonata form can be, because with this coda, so then we have change. But now we're gonna have the ending. And now it ends in C minor. So hopefully you can excuse my bad piano playing, but at least this shows, hopefully, how sonata form kind of works. This the idea of setting up these different conflicting keys with different melodies and different components that then are contrasting and conflict with each other, then get smashed together usually in a development where you're break it apart and put it into different places and change things. And then as the piece goes on, you then it's moving somewhere, right? You have changes to themes. You have different themes coming back in ways and at times in which you might not expect. And it provides a way in which you can structure a kind of narrative and end up in a way in which you go, oh, yeah, that was really dramatic. And I see that it ends in C minor and it's a really dark piece, as opposed to ending earlier where I said it could have. And so this just shows you how how much a coda can add. Now, not all great sonata form movements have to have a coda like this. You can have a big enough and strong enough development that the piece works perfectly with just, a return to what happened earlier with its appropriate changes and reflections and so on. And so you can see this throughout the literature. And that's what's fun but once you know this, how this kind of works, you can listen to these changes. Mainly listen to, I'll make another video to tell you, I'll just end it here. Listen out for, obviously, the main theme. And that's usually pretty easy because it comes early. Well, not all the time. Because just as, I forgot about this. But just as you can add a coda, you can also have an introduction to a sonata form. And that can sometimes be its own thing. Anyways, you'll have your main theme. It's almost always in the key in which the symphony is in or whatever. So if it's a symphony or quartet or whatever, that key is going to be the first theme, or the first theme will be in that key. That's how it works. That's why the symphony is in C minor, because the first theme, or whatever it was, is in C minor. And that's how it is with anything that's in a key. The first theme is going to be in that key. The second theme, contrasting key, with usually contrasting mood. And that's what sets up the conflict. And then you get to see how it is that you return back to the home key. Or sometimes not return back to the home key. The symphony ends, for example, in C major. It doesn't return back to C minor. But that's part of the whole narrative of the symphony as a whole. Regardless, hopefully this kind of gives you some of the tools to navigate through sonata form. Thank you.